welcome back. Today I have Nick Wilson. Nick is now the hitting instructor for the Colorado Rockies. But before we get into that, I just want to kind of let everyone know how near and dear Nick is to me. Because I coached Nick when he was in middle school. I think he was like sixth grade at Renfro Middle School here in Atlanta, Georgia. And also at Decatur High School. Nick was an All-American at Decatur High School, a member of the National Honor Society, and also the president of his student body. So Nick did both. He was a beast on the field, and also he was a beast off the field with his studies. So he's a prime example of being a student athlete. So I want to applaud Nick for all of his accomplishments up until this point. Nick, once he left Decatur High School, he went on to play at Hofstra University. Then he went to play at Eastern Arizona, where he was an all-conference player at Eastern Arizona. Then he went to Georgia State, where he was an All-American and also led the conference in home runs. He was one of the top hitters in the nation. Then he went on to be drafted by the Tampa Bay Rays. So with all that being said, Nick has always overcome adversities. When someone told him that he couldn't do it, he always outworked them. He always found a way to get him to where he is today. So I just want to kind of ask Nick a few questions before we get into his demonstration, just about about what he's doing now, and just about giving some advice to some of the younger kids that's in the program with us now.
Yeah, I currently am the short season A hitting coach with the Colorado Rockies. Most recently, I was hitting coach at Eastern Kentucky University. So throughout my career, my experiences, I've been fortunate enough to really see baseball on a whole lot of levels. Amateur baseball, college baseball, professional baseball, independent baseball. I've seen quite a few levels, which has given me an opportunity to have quite a bit of experience just to be able to pass these things along and share them with the next generation of ball players. One of the things that I think is so important, especially for younger kids, and not only younger kids, but older kids as well, is everything at the end of the day comes back to controllables. And what do I mean by that? Things that you can control, you must make sure that you do that to the best of your ability on a daily basis. One thing you can always control, how hard you work, right? There's no price on hard work. It doesn't cost you any extra to try your hardest. But if you truly want to be the best, if you're truly highly motivated, it is required to work hard, right? They say that success is something that is rented day to day. That means you got to show up and bring it every day. So that's a really easy thing to control on a daily basis. One other thing that is, extremely easy to control when we start talking about controllables is your attitude, right? One thing that I've heard one of the best coaches to ever do it tell a story about Derrick Henry. Nick Saban tells a story about Derrick Henry and said every day that he came out to the practice field, Derrick would say, "Coach, glad to be here," right? But that's an attitude thing. That's a mentality thing. You understand some days are a lot easier to come out and do the things that you do, and some days are a lot harder. But if you take the mindset, the approach that, hey, man, I'm glad to be here, some days you can talk yourself into having a little bit extra juice and getting that work done that is required to be as good as you can be.
Good, Nick, man, and you're a prime example of that, being that you were, somewhat of an underdog, but you always figured it out, and you always outworked everybody on every level that you were a part of, and that's what drove me to be able to coach you. It was easy coaching a player like you. In middle school, high school, it was easy because I knew you were going to work and you were going to figure it out. And now, with you being a hitting instructor with the Rockies, you've come up with a concept of what is it, motion,
Right, blast motion.
Blast motion.
Yeah. So we use blast motion and their data quite a bit, and being able to pair some of the metrics that they provide you with their service and combining them together with other metrics, we're kind of able to create different profiles for players. So, for instance, if we're trying to create a power profile, right? Who on our team is the best power hitter, right? We can look with our eye, right? We can say, well, little Jimmy hits the most home runs in batting practice, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he always has the best power on the team, right? Maybe batting practice is a drill that is not challenging for another kid, so they don't take their ace swing in batting practice. That's a common mistake, common issue that happens with baseball. Practice isn't hard enough. So with these metrics, we're able to kind of target and identify specific things that are comparable from person to person. Bat speed, we can compare that, right? Doesn't matter how big you are, how small you are, either you can swing the bat fast or you can't, right? Rotational acceleration. How fast can you take your body from a stop and put it in motion, right? So those are two metrics that, just to explain them a bit more in a more layman terms, bat speed is comparable to a car that's moving at 70 miles per hour. If you're driving a pickup truck and I'm driving a Ferrari at 70 miles per hour, they're both moving at 70, right? Rotational acceleration is your 0 to 60. Your truck isn't gonna get to 60 as fast as my Ferrari will, right? So when I combine bat speed plus rotational acceleration, I'm able to have more power potential, and these are the things that we're talking about.
Okay, awesome, man. So I could bring some 12-year-olds in here and be able to use the same concept.
Absolutely.
With what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think that one of the most important things about baseball is, like, if you can teach, you can teach. So it doesn't matter. Breaking things down to the simplest terms, it's real important that kids start to learn, you know, what are the terms that are being used, and don't be afraid of them. A lot of people are, you know, kind of get shy about a term, launch angle, right? We're not trying to create a launch angle swing. You'll hear people say things like that. But in reality, launch angle is simply a measurement, right? It's nothing to be afraid of, right? It's something that happens on every swing. So once we all educate ourselves and you know, get on the same page that, okay, this is a thing that happens, we can start to discuss it. And I think kids can also handle pretty intellectual conversations about hitting.
All right, good, man. So I'm going to bring a couple of kids in for you to demonstrate.
Yep.
We'll go into the cage and we'll get started.
Sounds good.
All right, man. All right, we have Josh Wimbley and Kellen Johnson here to demonstrate with Nick some of the drills that he's going to go through with them. Nick, I'm going to let you have these two guys and you can go ahead and demonstrate.
Perfect. Okay. So first drill that we're going to do today is with PVC pipe and tennis balls. All right, we talked a little bit about learning to adjust to the ball with our body as opposed to our hands and our wrists. All right, so the way we're going to do this drill, we're going to take a pipe, we're going to cross our arms with more in the back than the front, and we're going to take our eyes to that ball and right off the tee, and we're going to try to hit it as straight as we can forward. All right, makes sense? With our body. Here we go. Let's do it. Tough. Tough. Come on, eyes. Take your eyes to that ball. Real good. Excellent job. Excellent job with your body. Let's do it again. Not bad. Let's do it again. What do you feel right there? Good. All right, you felt your body dipping. Keep talking to me about it. What else you feel?
I felt dipping and then rolled over.
You rolled over. You hit. So you feel like you hit on this side of it, right? We got instant results that say so. All right, stay behind it. Better. Good. 3 more. Not bad. Here we go. Last one. Good rep. Here we go. Next guy. I want you to take your same load that you swing with. All right, we're gonna try to replicate that. Yeah, you got it. Good. Keep working. Keep working. What do we learn right there? Okay, so what does that tell us about how we contacted it? Right, so for us to hit it on this side, did we hit it on this side of the ball or on this side of the ball? Good, all right, so let's change our target a little bit. Ball needs to be a little further out in front. Let's change our target. Better. Keep working. Better contact. Keep working. Excellent job. Excellent body position. Come on, 2 more. Let's find that feel again. Give me that same feeling. Real good. Let's do it again. Last time. Let's repeat it. Give me that same feel. Pretty good. All right, let's get a quick pick, guys.
So Nick, with the drills you just demonstrated with the kids, they can use a PVC pipe at home, or they can go to Home Depot and grab a pipe and work on this at home.
Absolutely. That's a 5-foot PVC pipe. That's $3 at any hardware store. And I mean, we're working with the tee and tennis balls. These are materials that, yeah, you can use anywhere, and you can continue to learn the correct body posture of hitting.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
What do you feel? How are you missing it? On the top or the bottom? On the bottom, right? All right, so let's readjust this. Aim maybe higher. What does that tell us? Maybe we've got too much of this movement and not enough of that, okay? Here we go. Better swing. Let's do it again. Okay. Bottom or top? Yeah, good job, good adjustment. Find that middle, please. Yes, sir. How'd that feel? That feels like the real thing. Way that this is just like hitting, right? The objective of any swing that we take, we're trying to deliver the bat head to the front of our body. That's all we're trying to do, right? We're never trying to hit a baseball behind us. We got no chance to hit it fair if we hit it this deep, right? We only got 45 degrees to work with to hit or 90 degrees to hit a fair ball, right? So we've got to deliver the barrel to the front of our body. This is very similar. We've got this pole attached to us. The only thing we're thinking about is how do we deliver it to the front of our body as fast as possible, okay? Close. All right, 3 more. Yes, sir. Excellent job. That we hit in baseball that moves up. So the way that you're learning to enter the hitting zone on the backside, right? Because we're talking about matching planes and adjusting with our body and things like that, right? The way that you're entering the hitting zone on the backside doesn't match what happens in a real life game, right? So when you can, instead of having people flip you underhand, just have them throw it over the top, because now the angle matches what it would be in a real game. Does that make sense? Right, so we're just trying to make it a little more game-like, all right? Sorry, this is your mental tip and your mental tip for this drill, all right? After you contact the ball, because we're not worrying about hitting it, we're gonna hit it, okay? After we hit it, I want you to chase the ball with your barrel. Does that make sense? What does that mean? Oh, I like what you just did right there. Does that look like staying through a ball? Contact it, chase it with your barrel. What does that mean to you?
You don't extend your hands when you hit the ball.
Yeah, no doubt, right? So right now, we're talking about hitting it this way, okay? Off gap. So after we hit it, the barrel's gotta continue towards the off gap before we go to finish our swing. Does that make sense? All right, here we go. Let's do it. All right, here we go. No. Like what you did. Let's do it again. Better pitch. Real good. Let's do it again. Good. Not bad. Give me better. Oh, how was that one different? What do you think? You did something different that time. Yeah, it was way better, but why? Because if we can never understand why, it doesn't matter. We can't repeat it. Okay? So why was it better? What did we do? What do you think?
I stayed in the ball.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Okay. What did I say though? I like to keep our hands inside the ball, but what did I just tell you?
Well, we can't contact, extend our hands out.
Yeah. Chase the ball with the barrel. Yes, sir. Let's do it. Here we go. Ball. Oh, okay. Yeah. What do you think? I like it too. Here we go. Let's do it again. Consistent load. Nice swing. What happened that one? That one was different. What happened on that one?
I whip my leg out and get out.
Look at your body position right there. You did this, right? This is what you're doing, all right? How will we correct this? What would the right body position be?
Probably keep it in my shoulder there.
Okay.
And then throwing my, not throwing, but like keep my chest behind the ball.
Yeah.
And hit.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah. Here we go. Get ready. The ball got on you. Not bad. Sliced it though. It's an excellent swing. Ball in front of your foot. Let's do it again. Excellent swing. Let's do it again. One more. Right? I think that's a good swing, right? You feel good about that because that was a solid barrel, okay? But we hit a ground ball to second base right there. We out. And like once you get to college, you out on that one every time. So how do we drive that one in the off gap, right? We've got to continue to do a good job of making sure that we deliver that bat further out in front of our body. But you're doing a great job, okay? Here we go. Yes, sir. Your hand to pass your elbow without moving your shoulder. Do it again. Good. Do it again. All right. So once we start to put some lower half with that, right now our lower half's moving and we separate our front shoulder and our front hip, right? That's what we have to do to make sure we stay inside of it. Separate our front shoulder and our front hip. Now we're allowed to allow our hand to pass our elbow and we hit full side home runs. Okay? Ready to roll? Make sure I don't lose the shoulder here. All right, here we go. Harder to do. It's much harder. Here we go. Real good. Two things. All right? With this, you know that it's going to be an inside pitch. And on inside pitches, every inch the ball moves inside, it increases like 2 miles per hour. So like this ball, I'm throwing it off the plate and inside and telling you to hit it. So you got to make sure that you really get ready with your load. We have to be on time with our load, okay? That'll help you out a whole lot. Your swing looks great though. Here we go. Tough. Oh, don't miss it. was a good swing. Don't miss it. Good. Pretty good. Get this thing right back in my face. Yes, sir. Do it again. Oh, you wanted that one. That was a good swing. Come on. Finish it. Last two. Good. That's one. That's what we're talking about. Next guy. Sir. Do it again. I want it at my face, okay? And the reason why I say my face, because that was a great barrel right there. Okay, but that's a foul ball. That's a 1. Okay, at my face, that's a base hit. Here we go. Don't cheat it. Don't cheat. All right, one more thing. You remember when we talked about keeping our chest over the plate? Okay, right now what's happening, you know I'm throwing it right here. Okay? And it's not really like that in the game, right? But you know it's coming right there, so you are preparing to pull it. I need you to keep your chest over home plate as long as possible and still pull it. Okay, so that means we gotta work with our lower half early, right? My chest is still square. Now pulling the ball only means that I deliver the bat further out in front of my body. Like that. Does that make sense? Closer. Yes, sir. That's the swing. Let's do it again. Moves off of the line, right? If it runs inside or if it runs outside off the plate, I want you to take it, right? We're gonna work on our pitch discipline a bit here, okay? So we're working on a little bit of tunneling right here with these balls coming right at you. So if it runs off the line, you take the pitch. If it stays on the line, hammer it, okay? So, nice and easy. I love your eye discipline there. Again. There's more. Last one. All right, here we go. Next. Hey, you remember when we talked earlier about like hitting that lace and hitting it off the bat? I need the same thing, okay? Ball is good. Better.
All right, Nick, I appreciate you coming by, working with Josh and Kellen, and with some of the drills that you've shown them. Hopefully you guys can also implement them in your daily routine. Some simple drills that you can use at home where you don't have to actually come outside. You can do this at your own leisure, but make sure that you guys are actually working at home while you're using and also using your time wisely. Thank you, and until next time, please continue to subscribe to Georgia Showcase Baseball.